with class, fantastic demeanor, and a wine glass filled to the brim. What you're going to hear is the finest in urban conservative talk. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the brand new Willie Lawson Show here on the Exceptional Conservative Network. Well, good morning. Good morning. I trust that you are well. I trust that things are going well where you are. It is Trump Day. I'm sorry, I could not resist. Because it is we're about to inaugurate the 45th president of the United States in just a few scant hours, 3 hours and 1 minute. 181 minutes from now, we will have a new president, and that president will be Donald J. Trump. Who would have thunk it? I'd be lying to you. I'd just be lying to you to tell you that, oh yeah, I knew all along. And everybody else would be lying to you if they said they knew all along. You know, nobody picked this. You know, I posted on my Facebook page yesterday that when I woke up, I wrote, everybody you trusted was wrong. Everybody you trusted was wrong. All the mainstream media sources, all your friends, all your, the people in your life that, follow politics and that are your go-to people who talk about such things, all of them were wrong. All the people who said, there's no way. There's no way. I remember saying, and you can go back and check my archives, that, I remember saying when it gets to Florida, Marco Rubio has a big base in Florida and a great ground game in Florida. And Donald Trump will meet his Waterloo in Florida. I remember saying that, and guess what? I was wrong. Donald Trump kicked Marco Rubio's ass in Florida. You just have to say it. You just have to. And this is what the liberal left and Captain Cupcake and the Snowflake Warriors don't get. That sometimes when you get an ass whooping, you just got to take that ass whooping and move on. You just got to say, yeah, you won. You beat my ass. That's it. You just got to say that and move on. Regroup. And move on. Do what the left does. What the left does was regroup. They regroup, they reset, they rebrand, and they relaunch. I mean, that is what you got to do. For my acquaintances on the left, I don't really have many friends on the left, frankly. I really don't. I really don't. And not that I've separated myself from them, is that either by their words or their actions, they've separated themselves from me, because I guess what I say is too, it upsets them too much. I guess phrases like Captain Cupcake and the Snowflake Warriors, that's a bit divisive. I guess, is that divisive? Is that a divisive phrase? Is that a divisive phrase?
You are correct, sir.
Okay, I guess it is. So maybe I'll stop using it.
Wrong.
Okay. Oh, maybe I won't stop using it. But you know what? That's the deal, though. That's the deal. Just reset, rebrand, relaunch. Just know that you got your ass kicked, and then do that introspection. Why did we lose? How did we lose? Well, you know what? It's funny. A lot of people around the world who are leftists are saying, I'll tell you why we lost. I'll tell you why Brexit happened. We warned you that if Brexit happened, Donald Trump would be president. And this is a leftist Marx. The Marxist leftists are saying this. They'll tell you why. Because the left, we can, and we here on the right can't make this mistake. They don't make the case. It's easier to call somebody a name who you disagree with, and because you call them a name, you've called them a racist or a bigot or a homophobe or a xenophobe or Islamophobe, or you've called them a name, then now you can discount them. You you don't have to say, well, let me sit down and let's talk about why what I'm saying to you is correct. Let's have dialogue, conversation. Because because we know, and I know, when someone on the left calls for dialogue or conversation, what they want is a cheer session. They want a pep rally. They want a pep rally, and they want you to offer only token resistance. When you offer real resistance, then they come up with, well, you know what, all you white folks, all my white listeners, all you guys are just steeped in your white privilege. You need to check your privilege. Check my privilege. You know, it's a good thing I'm not white. It's a good thing for you. For some of them, I'm not white, because I'd be saying, check my privilege. I got your privilege right here. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that this is where the left has missed it. I think there are a lot of people, a lot of white people, a lot of the same people who voted for Barack Obama not once but twice, who are tired of being called names, who are tired of being characterized in, quote, flyover America, like they don't matter, like their concerns about their jobs and their families and you know what, and their futures don't matter, because they choose to live in places like Wisconsin. They choose to live in places like Pennsylvania, and have manufacturing jobs, work in the coal mines. They're not the erudite. They're not the intellectuals, and nobody was talking to them. Nobody was talking to them. Nobody's been talking to them except to say, oh, yeah, we're going to shut down the coal industry. Oh, yeah, we're going to put you people out of work. Nobody was talking to them until Donald Trump decided to talk to them. And Donald Trump started to talk to them. And other Republicans during the primary still didn't get it, still didn't understand that they were, you know what, who are you talking to? You know, Newt Gingrich had a Facebook Live. Did a Facebook Live. He's with the Heritage Foundation yesterday, and basically said that, you know what, this Trump communication strategy is earth shattering. It's groundbreaking, because it entirely circumvented in real time the mainstream media. Circumvented the mainstream media in real time. His Twitter strategy worked. And for those of us who are sitting around scratching our head wondering how this happened, it's because they're smart. They went right to the people they needed to get to. They went right to the states they needed to get to win the electoral vote, because that's how you win the presidency of the United States. That's how you go through the ceremony that he and Mike Pence are going to go through in less than 3 hours now. That's how you win that particular game. You don't have to worry about winning all of California or all of New York. You don't have to worry about winning the popular vote. For my Captain Cupcake and the Snowflake Warriors that somehow kept missing their civics class, in junior high school. You don't have to. So we didn't campaign that way. If you had to win the popular vote, would he have won? I don't know. It would have been a whole lot more difficult. It would have been a whole lot more difficult because you have to win New York, and you have to win Illinois, and you have to win California in order to win the popular vote. But that's not how we do it in America. So Donald Trump, congratulations, number 45. He will be the next president of these United States. We'll be right back after these messages. Innovation, inspiration, and imagination. 3 important characteristics that are important in any business, but especially in real estate, when you're looking for your forever home. And when that home is a new home, there are very, very many things that must go right. The financing must be on point. The furnishings must be on point. The location and neighborhood must be on point. And if you need someone to get that right the first time, you have to go to my friend Gary Knight at New Homes of Tampa Bay. That's New Homes of Tampa Bay. You can reach him on the web at www.newhomestpa.com. If you're looking for innovation through technology, inspiration and imagination through hard work, www.newhomestpa.com. There's no reason to wait for a special occasion to send flowers. No reason to wait until you miss a birthday or an anniversary or Valentine's Day to send flowers. All you have to do is get a hold of my friend Christine at Bloomingdale's Flower Shop, www.bloomingdays.com. That's www.bloomingdays.com. And tell her that you want to send the very best, that you care enough to send the very best. One of FTD's top florists in all of the United States, always in the top 100 of flower shops in the United States. That's Bloomingdale's Flower Shop, www.bloomingdays.com. Forget calling 1-800-something, www.bloomingdays.com. It's great to have partners, but it's even better when one of your partners is one of the finest urban conservatives in America. That's my friend Kevin Batts. Kevin Batts of Red River Chronicle TV. Red River Chronicle TV is taking the internet by storm. With fabulous production, amazing commentary, and incredible insight, Red River TV is the thing that we'll all be watching in 2017. They are the people, Kevin and his wife Janelle, are the voices that are going to make the difference in urban America in 2017. So get in on the ground floor. Go to www.redriverchronicle.com and subscribe to Red River TV today. Welcome to the Willie Lawson Show here on the Exceptional Conservative Network. It is Trump Day. I just can't get enough of saying that. You know, I wrote on my Facebook page this morning that I would adult today. I will not gloat. I will not be hypercritical. And in that, I also won't get into ticky-tack battles with people on the left. I just won't. People who are upset about what's going on. You know what? I saw in my Instagram. I saw a post that said it sort of had Donald Trump in this founders sort of Thomas Jefferson filter like, and it basically said tomorrow get ready to set your clocks back 300 years. I was like, stop. And these are from people I know. And somebody had a picture of themselves in high school with it was three people with Obama shirts, and they were lamenting how sad, how they never expected that we would be at a time like this, and I thought for the briefest of seconds that we would that I would engage them, and I just said, no, why? Why? For what reason? What good could come from it? No good could come from it. All it would be really would be back and forth, and I'd be, quite frankly, endangering relationships with some young people that I really like and love and adore for no reason. I wouldn't be able to convince them of anything. I mean, some of these young people still follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. So guess what? You know what? They sort of let me do me. So for the meantime, I'll just let them do them. All right, listen. Today we're going to talk about Donald. Everybody on the network already talked about this. It's my turn. It's Friday, which is Trump Day. God, I'm sorry. I'm going to do that a few more times before we're done. So just be ready for it, or not. Be surprised by it every single time. Everybody on the network already talked about Donald Trump's New Deal for Black America. Now it's really my turn. It's on his website. You can go to it and look at it for yourself. The Donald Trump's New Deal for America is the reason why Ray Lewis and Jim Brown went to Trump Tower to talk to Donald Trump. That's why. It wasn't like they needed to talk to Donald Trump. Are you serious? To talk to Donald Trump? This is Jim Brown, dude. This is Jim Brown. Jim Brown doesn't need to talk to Donald Trump. Ray Lewis doesn't need to talk to Donald Trump. This is why, it's really not why Kanye West went, but maybe, right? But Kanye West doesn't need to talk to Donald Trump. And Steve Harvey, the hardest man other than myself in show business, the second hardest working man in show business, because the first hardest working man is me, obviously, doesn't need to talk to Donald Trump. He doesn't need that nonsense. He doesn't need it. But because Trump put out on his website and has had out on his website for a long time, his New Deal for Black America with a plan for urban renewal. Now there's something concrete. There's something that we can actually talk about. It isn't the whiffly fuffly, the fluffily, make good, feel good stuff of the Obama administration. Black America made a huge assumption with Barack Obama that things would be better in Black America because Barack Obama was black, biracial. So the assumption was made, so it never had to actually be said. My friend Elizabeth Blackney said Barack Obama was like the guy who wasn't good in bed because he didn't have to be, because everybody talked about him like he was. So, because everybody wanted to be with him, near him, all about him. So he was like the guy who wasn't good in bed, but didn't have to be. And that's, and I think that if we do a postmortem on where the condition of urban America and Black America is, that plays out, sadly, to be the truth. So when Donald Trump says, you know what, this is what we do contracts. We write things out. We have a plan. So he's right. So this plan, this New Deal for Black America, with a plan for urban renewals on his website, and we're going to talk about it point to point. I'm going to read directly from the plan, and we're going to try and I'm going to ask the question, and you can hit me up on Twitter, WLSTECN, on Twitter, or on you can hit me up on Instagram at Fightback Media. You can hit me up on my email at WLSTECN@gmail.com. And if you've got questions about this, and I'll have all those things rolling during the show. And then you can ask me, we can have some dialogue here. It's like, what's the deal here? What is the deal? Why is the establishment left, the establishment media, the establishment black left so opposed to Donald Trump? They're opposed to Donald Trump because if Donald Trump's able to accomplish half of these 5 points, he has shown easily that the liberal left is insincere, ineffective, and needs to be replaced. So that's really the deal. He busts their hustle. So I'll read sort of the preamble of the what's on its website. It says nobody needs to tell African Americans in this country that the old New Deal from the Democratic Party isn't working for them. In election after election, Democrat Party leaders take African American votes for granted year after year. The condition of Black America gets worse. The conditions in our inner cities today are unacceptable. Too many African Americans have been left behind. African Americans need a new deal from their next president. Donald Trump is proposing just that. The following are 10 promises that promises announced by Donald Trump on October 26, 2016 in Charlotte, North Carolina that will define a new deal for Black America. Now, let's look at just that. You know, I see a lot of Black people posting on Facebook and the like who say the system is rigged. There's no way that that Black Americans can succeed because it's rigged. The conditions in our inner city are unacceptable. Too many African Americans are being left behind. All this says is echoes what Black people themselves are saying. This is why we have to be smarter. In order to train the animal, you have to be smarter than the animal. This is why we've got to be smarter. This is why we have to act intellectually as opposed to emotionally. This is why Donald Trump, on his website, this line right here, is just echoing what Black people have been saying all along. What Black people who come out for your vote every 2 years, 4 years are, in national elections, state elections, and local elections, this is what they're saying. He's just echoing exactly what the same people these Democrats who have been controlling the inner city for the past 80 years continue to say to garner the Black vote. It's just echoing that. So when they get crazy about it, you go, well, wait, I just said what you said. But Black people aren't getting left behind. This is the wage gap they keep talking about, right? The wage gap in, Black and white in America. So if one side if the gap is widening, then somebody's getting left behind, right? All right. Anyway, let's talk about the first thing, because the first thing is the one that's nearest and dearest to my heart, as you already know. The first thing in the Donald Trump's New Deal for a Black America with a plan for urban renewal is, number one, great education through school choice. We will allow every disadvantaged child in America to attend the public, private, charter, magnet, religious, or home school of their choice. School choice is the great civil rights issue of our time, and Donald Trump will be the nation's biggest cheerleader for school choice in all 50 states. We will also ensure funding for historic Black colleges and universities, more affordable 2- and 4-year college, and support for trade and vocational education. Okay. Can you tell me why John Lewis and some of the people on the liberal left, especially people like John Lewis, Mark Lamont Hill, would fight someone who says this? Why would you fight somebody who has said this, who has put this and calls this a promise? Why would you fight that? What in this statement right there that I just read is so horribly racist, misogynistic, Islamophobic, xenophobic, bigoted, that you would fight that right there? Public, private, charter, magnet, religious, homeschool of their choice, which frankly is just their right. It's just promising that we will protect your right to educate your child any way you see fit. Any way you see fit. But you know who doesn't like it? Well, the unions don't like it. The NEA doesn't like it. All the educational unions don't like it, because if you actually send people to other educational venues, then they don't get their money. They don't get their money from FTE for attending public schools, although he included public schools. If they send them to private schools, they don't get their money. If you send them to charter schools, they may or may not get their money. Magnet schools, religious schools, they really hate that we would send our children to religious schools. I am so thankful to God that we were able to send my son to a religious school for a large part of his of his education. I think it makes him the great young man that he is today. I just do, and I'm right. Or people who do decide to homeschool their children. I'm not a big fan of homeschooling because I don't think everybody can do it well. But you know what? If you choose to homeschool your child, that's your business. That is your business. That is your business.
You are correct, sir.
I know. I know. That's your business. That's not my business. It damn sure ain't the government's business where you educate your child. They should be, you know what, helping you and getting out your way. So if you decide to homeschool your child, if you decide to not participate in the public public education where you live, you decide that no, these are my children, I'm responsible for their education, I got it, I'll take care of it, then you should be allowed to do just that, and there shouldn't be any restrictions on that. And right now, there are more and more restrictions being placed on homeschooling than any other time in history. It ain't like black people can't homeschool, because first of all, they do. And it isn't like every public school in the inner city quite frankly, is worthy of our children, has done a job good enough to hold our children captive there. And why can't the parents who live in inner city Chicago or inner city St. Louis or any other inner city place or DC, why can't they have the benefit through school vouchers, which they already pay for in their tax dollars, send their kids to a school that they believe they can be successful in? Why would Mark Lamont Hill be against that? Why would Whoopi Goldberg be against that? Why would Joy Behar, what a awful human being, why would Rosie O'Donnell be against that? Why would Mark Lamont Hill be against that? Why would John Lewis be against that? Because they've all sold their souls, their careers, their legacies, in the case of John Lewis, to the liberal left for a little money and a little notoriety. I can see now, I'm like, Pastor, I'm not going to get through all 10 points, but that's okay. The second part of the New Deal for Black America is safe communities. We will make our communities safe again. Every poor African-American child must be able to walk down the streets in peace. Safety is a civil right. We will invest in training and funding for both local and federal law enforcement operations to remove the gang members, drug dealers, and criminal cartels from our neighborhood. The reduction of crime is not merely a goal, but a necessity. And the problem with that is what? The problem with reducing crime? Because black people who get shot in drive-bys are okay with it as long as they get shot by other black people. Everybody's cool with it, right? No, of course not. That's asinine. So when somebody's breaking in your car, you look and go, is he white? Is he white? Is he white? No, he's black. Well, never mind. No. Who doesn't want to live? Why doesn't John Lewis want people, especially from his district in Georgia, why doesn't he want where his district is to be safe? Why does he want children who live in that district to be safe from being accosted by gang members, having to deal with the dope boys? and other criminal cartels going on there. Why isn't he good with that? Why isn't Whoopi Goldberg good with that? Why isn't Joy Behar good with that? Why isn't Mark Lamont Hill good with safe communities, with some of the worst places in America, frankly, being safe for black children? Why aren't they good with that? Why is that problematic? Why is this problematical? Here's the deal. People like Ray Lewis and Jim Brown and Steve Harvey are saying, you know what? I'm good with this. We got to make this happen. We got to make this happen. The reduction of crime is not merely a goal, but a necessity. There isn't any way that we can be successful in our communities to the level that we need to be successful until they are safe places to be, live, work, and worship. There is, and anything else is just flipping nonsense. It's just insanity. It's a lie. It's a lie from the pit of hell. You can't do anything else until you're safe. Until you feel good about opening a business because you know that you know what, no one's going to run in there and put a gun to your head and take your money. No one's going to shoot you on the street in a drive-by and take your bag of money while you're trying to get to the bank. That people who come to your business and park in your parking lot aren't going to get their cars broken into. Now, crap happens everywhere, no doubt. But we can't, in our own communities, we can't afford any of that. There isn't enough buffer in generational wealth to absorb the madness. We've talked about that before. Number 3, again, I can see that I'm not going to get anywhere near done with this. Number 3, equal justice under the law. We will apply the law fairly, equally, and without prejudice. There will only be one set of rules, not a two-tiered system of justice. Equal justice means the same rules for Wall Street. Everybody, there are laws written. We are a nation of laws. We are not a nation of immigrants. We are a nation of laws, which makes it different than a democracy. We are not a democracy. We are a representative constitutional republic, which means we are a nation of laws. And all those laws have to be equally and without prejudice applied to everyone in every situation. There can't be a difference between powder cocaine and crack. And we saw that there was a true difference between powder cocaine, I mean, the way that people who were found guilty of using powdered cocaine and people who were found guilty of using crack were treated. There can't be any difference. We know now that some white people who are convicted of minor marijuana offenses don't get the same intensity of sentences as black Americans do of the same offenses. Now, of course, you have to really drill down into the case to make sure that you're talking about apples and apples, because sometimes you're not talking about apples and apples. And the left loves to use those cases where you're not really talking about that. So you have to do your own research. But if Billy gets caught with a joint in his car and gets, 30 days probation, Akeem, who gets caught with a joint in his car and is a similar situation or the same situation, should get the very same penalty. So equal justice under the law is guaranteed in the Constitution of the United States. All right, here we go. This is another one that's near and dear to my heart, and I'm not going to have time to get to it in this segment. We're going to get to it after the break. See, this is important. This is important that we start asking ourselves, why do these people that are coming against Trump, what are their plans? What's their motivation? What is their motivation? Who's paying their mortgage? Who's putting gas in their car? Who's filling their pockets? And until we come out, and until we start asking these questions and either being okay or upset by the answers, we will always be under the thumb of the oppressor. We'll be right back after these messages.
Times are dark. The people are misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation looking for direction needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, Pundit Press, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because the truth is not always pleasant.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservative.com.
Good morning.
I'm Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Okay, folks, that's not how it goes. I think I'm Shannon, and you're Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. We are The Right Way with Shannon and Mike.
Join us from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Live on SHR Media.
And on TECN.
Where we'll be talking about all kinds of things.
From sports and politics.
To food and entertainment.
To money.
Family.
And anything else in between.
Community, holidays, all kinds of things.
It'll be great. Join us from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
This is a production of Fight Back Media Group. For more information, go to www.fightbackmedia.com.
The best late-night conservative talk show in America, Tackheads Radio. And listen, there are no people better on the air to give you the best in conservative talk than Tackhead Sean and Tackhead Clint. And we're working on the immigration papers for a certain other guy who happens to work here too. But for those who are tuning in around the world to the best in late-night conservative talk, Tackheads Radio.
Tack you. Tack you.
Radio.
Tack you. Tack you.
Radio.
The best late-night conservative talk show in America. In America.
In America.
Into the silo.
And in this web was a large, I'm pretty sure it was the biggest spider I've ever seen.
From the war front to the streets of our nation's capital, men of faith, Dr. Michael Jones, the underground professor, and Kenneth McClinton, the exceptional conservative, bring both constitutional gravitas and spiritual perspective on today's issues to the most influential Christian urban talk show, 9:05 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays. It's a new day. On New Day, Black.
This is your business diva, Melanie Collette, inviting you to join me for my new show, Money Talk with Melanie, on January 16th at 10 a.m. on the Exceptional Conservative Network. Joining me will be Dr. Brooks Robinson of blackeconomics.org. We will discuss President-elect Donald Trump's New Deal for Black America. I hope you'll join us.
Well, if you are interested in actually doing something, if you're tired of the talk, if you now feel emboldened to strike into your community and hit your community for positive change, then you are an urban game changer. Get involved with the Urban Game Changer movement by going to urbangamechangers.com and giving us your email address. We will contact you, and you can start your own Urban Game Changer chapter where you live. My friend Shirley Huzar and Urban Game Changers International. We are ready to make things different where we live, and for the better. You're tired of the cold? You're tired of the taxes? It's time to move to Florida. And our friend Gary Knight at New Homes of Tampa Bay is the perfect person to help you. You can just give Gary a call at 813-770-9452, or you can go to the website to look for your brand new home at www.newhomestpa.com. Move to Florida. It's about time. Good morning and welcome to the Will Austin Show here on the Exceptional Conservative Network. We are powered by SHR Media, and we are broadcasting, being syndicated by the great folks at High Plains Talk Radio. We are getting out there, getting it done, getting on it. So again, welcome. If this is your first time, again, send me an email at wlstecn@gmail.com or follow me on Twitter at WLSTECN on Twitter.com. So we are here to make things different. We are here to talk about things differently. We're here to make things different, to make things better. It is Friday, January 20th, 2017. Also, for now and forever, to be known as Trump Day. I told you I'd keep that up. All right, listen, we were talking about Donald Trump's New Deal for Black America with a plan for urban renewal, and asking the question, why would certain people, especially black people in the liberal left, have such a problem with some of the things that he has stated in this plan? Once you write something down, then you could be held accountable for it. And that's what Barack Obama did not do. Barack Obama did not write anything down, and neither did Hillary Clinton, and neither did a lot of people on the liberal left, because frankly, they know how hard some of this stuff is, and they weren't equipped or even willing to do it. So they didn't write it down. So what Donald Trump did was he wrote down the things that we need to accomplish, not only just in Black America, but in America as a whole. And now we can hold his feet to the fire. See, this is the opportunity that the left doesn't want you to do, because the left has made a living the past 80 years in making sure that people in black communities did not hold their elected officials accountable. They were making damn sure that they don't. Why? Because if you hold them accountable, then you'll replace them. Then someone can come up and say, hey, listen, these people who are supposed to be representing you for the past 60 years have not done anything. Now, what they did do is they did get a new car, and they did take, they were living down the street from you. What they did do was move to the suburbs. They did move to the suburb. They now don't live where you live. They now don't come to the same meetings that they used to come to. They now don't attend the same church that they used to. It's like the last scene, or one of the last scenes in Animal Farm, where now you're peeking through the window, and all the promises that the pigs made and things that they said they'd never do, they're doing. They're walking on two legs. They're wearing clothes. They're smoking, they're drinking alcohol, and you can't tell the pigs from the people. This is what the Democrat Party, and this is what a lot of these people in these urban areas, elected officials, have turned into, because we have not held them accountable. We have not held them accountable. And this, when you write it down, now you can be accountable for it. If Donald Trump fails on this, he fails because now we can go points 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Failures. Or what the liberal left is most afraid of, really, is not that Donald Trump fails in his plan for Black America. They're more afeared if he succeeds. If number 4, I'm running out of time. Number 4, tax reforms to create jobs and lift up people and communities. We will lower the business tax from 35% to 15% and bring thousands of new companies to our shores. We will also have a massive middle-class tax cut, tax-free child care, savings accounts, and child care deductions and credits. We will also have tax holidays for inner-city investment and new tax incentives to get foreign companies to relocate in blighted American neighborhoods. We will empower cities and states to seek a federal disaster designation for blighted communities in order to initiate the rebuilding of vital infrastructure and the demolition of abandoned properties and increase presence of law enforcement. And Whoopi Goldberg has a problem with jobs. Apparently, she has a problem with a child care tax deduction and credits. She has a problem with tax holidays. Now, we have a couple of we have a tax holiday that's a really big thing in Florida. It's the tax holidays when it comes around school, on school clothes and supplies and stuff. We have a week or so of a tax holiday, and that's a boon for the economy and it's a boon for people. when you're going to save 7.5% or on top of whatever sale they're offering, that's a good thing. So Mark Lamont Hill has a problem with new companies. He has a problem with a massive middle class tax cut. He has a problem with inner city investment. He has a problem with tearing down abandoned buildings in inner city areas. He has a problem with this. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because if Donald, like I just said, they're not afraid that Donald Trump will fail. They're afraid that Donald Trump will be successful. Because if Donald Trump is successful in any of this, then the gig is up for them. The gig is up. Black people in inner cities will be looking for Republicans to elect like never before. Let's see. Financial reforms and expand. Let's see here. There you go. Financial reform, number 5. Financial reforms to expand credit to support new job creation. We will have financial reforms to make it easier for young African Americans to get credit to pursue their dreams in business and create jobs in their communities. Dodd-Frank has been a disaster, making it harder for small businesses to get the credit they need. The policies of the Clintons brought us the financial recession through the lifting of Glass-Steagall, pushing for subprime lending, the blocking reforms of Fannie and Freddie. It is time for a 21st century Glass-Steagall, and as part of that, a priority on helping African American businesses get the credit they need. We will also encourage small business creations by allowing social welfare workers to convert poverty assistance into repayable but forgivable microloans. So if someone is Whoopi Goldberg has a problem if someone is on public assistance and decides that they want to start a business, they can go through the process, and the money they get already could turn into a microloan to start a business. Now you have to understand what microloans are. Microloans are the same thing that we allow and support in developing nations. So someone gets a microloan for $300 in a developing nation to get signs or to start something in their business, to buy tables for their business or something. It's not a huge loan, but I don't have the money, so they got it, so I gotta have it. And under Donald Trump's plan, it's repayable. But it's forgivable if it fails because he understands that sometimes the best laid plans and people work hard and sometimes it fails, it doesn't work. So you don't want people to be in a worse position. Understood. The financial reforms to make it easier for young African Americans to get credit to pursue their dreams in business and create jobs in their own communities. Now somehow Mark Lamont Hill has a problem with that. Because what he's really afraid of is that if this catches on and becomes successful, then he's through. Then this race baiting, divisive character that he's had to play in this whole thing on CNN and MSNBC, that gig is over. That's what they're most afraid of. Protection from illegal immigration, new infrastructure investment, trade that works for American workers. Protect African American church. We will protect the religious liberty, promote strong families, and support the African American church. America first foreign policy. We'll stop trying to build democracies overseas, wasting billions of dollars, but focus on defeating terrorists and putting America first. They're scared to death that this will work. We'll be right back after these messages.
Good morning.
I'm Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Okay, folks, that's not how it goes. I think I'm Shannon and you're Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. We are The Right Way with Shannon and Mike.
Join us from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time
Live on SHR Media,
and on TECN.
where we'll be talking about all kinds of things,
From sports and politics
to food and entertainment,
to money
family,
and anything else in between.
community, holidays, all kinds of things.
It'll be great. Join us from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Nothing fits a home perfectly than a brand new grand piano. And if you're looking for a piano for your brand new home, you've got to visit Dave's Piano. And that's davespianoshowroom.com. If you're looking for the perfect thing to set off your new home, a piano is what you're looking for. And my friend Dave has the perfect piano for you. And the best thing about buying a piano from Dave is that he does everything. He delivers, he sets up, he tunes, he takes care of everything. The best part about Dave's Piano, quite frankly, is Dave. So when you buy a piano from Dave's Piano Showroom, you only deal with Dave. You can reach them at www.davespianoshowroom.com. That's davespianoshowroom.com. It's all the rage to call and order flowers from 1-800-whatever, or go online and order them from some nameless, faceless person on the other end. I'm saying you should do something different. You should, before doing that, call my friends at Blooming Days Flower Shop, located right here in Tampa, Florida, at 11618 North Florida Avenue, 33612. Christine and her staff don't look at just the order. They look at the customer. They look at your occasion. They consider the entire person, the entire occasion, before making decisions about design and price. You're more than just a customer. You're a friend. Call our friends at Blooming Days Flower Shop, toll free, at 1-800-330-3297. 1-800-330-3297. Local, 813-971-5947. 813-971-5947. You can reach them on the web at www.bloomingdays.com. All right, welcome back to the Will Austin Show here on the Exceptional Conservative Network. I trust that you have enjoyed yourself today. I know I've enjoyed myself on this one and only Trump Day. Oh, listen, if you are in the D.C. area and you're headed to the inauguration that's going to happen in a couple hours, you are late. You are going to be. You have to watch this inauguration from Norfolk, Virginia, because there simply won't be enough room for you. If you're just heading there now. If you're there and you're listening and you're in your hotel room or whatever, and you're getting ready to make the trip and do all that stuff, well, be safe and enjoy the peaceful transfer of power. You know what? There's a transfer happening in Gambia right now, but the military is being involved. We don't have that right now, right here, and so we are a blessed nation. Continue to pray for our leaders. We are led by the Word of God to pray for our leaders. That was the same with Barack Obama. It is the same for Donald Trump and his family, and we do that here at the Will Austin Show here on the Exceptional Conservative Network. Until we see you again, have a fantastic day. We're out.